Welcome to this video on adding and subtracting signed numbers, part 3. Let's begin. So in previous videos, we have talked about there being 3 ways to understand these problems. One is to rewrite the problem. So for number 1, we have 3 plus 2. There's not really any way to rewrite this, so we just rewrite it. We just write it over again, 3 plus 2. If we interpret this in terms of money, this means that I have $3 and then I get 2 more. So collectively I have $5. So 3 plus 2 is 5. I can also interpret this using the SSS-DDD method, which is to say that they have the same signs, so therefore I have to find their sum. The sum is 5, and since both numbers are positive, the final answer, 5, is also positive. For number 2, I can take a minute and rewrite this if I want to. I can rewrite it as 5 plus negative 4. I can even put parentheses around the negative 4 if desired. And again, the purpose of rewriting this is to remind me that that negative sign belongs to the 4. Wherever the 4 goes, the negative sign is going with it. So again, the 4 is negative, the 5 is positive. In terms of money, this means that I start out with $5 and then I spend 4 of those dollars. I didn't spend everything though, because I still have $1 left over, meaning positive 1. In terms of the SSS-DDD method, I can see that they are opposite or different signs, therefore I find the difference. To figure out the sign of the answer, since I know 5 minus 4 is 1, I look at the dominant term. 5 is bigger than 4, and in this problem, 5 is the positive number. Since the dominant term is positive, I know my final answer will also be positive. Number 3. 4 minus 7, again I can rewrite this as 4 plus negative 7, emphasizing the fact that the negative belongs to the 7. Wherever the 7 goes, the negative sign is going to go with it. In terms of money, this is like I have $4 and then I spend 7. As you can see, I spent more money than I had, therefore my final answer is going to be a negative $3. In terms of the SSS-DDD method, they are different signs. One of them is positive, one of them is negative. Therefore, I find the difference. Well, I know that 7 minus 4 is 3. So then I just have to figure out what is the sign of the answer. Is it positive or negative 3? To determine this, I just need to look at the dominant number. 7 is bigger than 4, and as you can see, 7 is negative. Since the dominant term is negative, the final answer is also negative. Number 4, again, not really much here to do as far as rewriting. So I'll just write again what is already there. In terms of money, I owe $15 and I get 12. As you can see, the $12 is not enough to completely repay my debt, so I still owe $3. In terms of the SSS-DDD method, I know that I have different signs, so I find the difference. Well, 15 minus 12 is 3, so then I just have to figure out is my answer a positive 3 or a negative 3. To do this, I look at the dominant term. As you can see, the dominant term is negative, therefore my final answer will also be negative. Number 5, negative 20 plus 4. Again, not much to do here with rewriting it. Money-wise, this means that I owed $20 and I get 4. As you can see, that $4 is not enough to repay my debt. In fact, I still owe $16. In terms of the SSS-DD method, you can see that they have different signs, so I find the difference. 20 minus 4 is 16, so I just have to figure out, is that 16 a negative or a positive number? To do this, I look at the dominant term. 20 is bigger than 4. The 20 is negative. Since the dominant term is negative, my final answer will also be negative. Number 6. If you would like to, remember you can rewrite this, negative 12 plus negative 35. Okay, you can even put parentheses around the negative 35 to emphasize the fact that that negative sign belongs to the 35 and will go with the 35 wherever it goes. Money-wise, this means that I have $12, sorry, just kidding, I owe $12, right? And then I borrow or spend $35 more, right? So this is like maybe 2 charges on your credit card, right? Now your total bill, right, the total charges on your credit card, they're accumulating, they're getting bigger, so now you owe $47. So that's going to be negative 47. So when we think of the SSS-DDD method, we can see that both numbers are negative. They have the same sign, so we add them. Then we just have to figure out, okay, well the sum is 47. Should the sum be positive or negative? So we can see that both numbers, the 12 and the 35, are both negative. So the sign of my answer is going to be the same as the sign of the numbers in my problem. For number 7 and 8, remember we have to rewrite them. These are not optional. And the other ones, it didn't really matter, but these ones we have to. Because remember, minus a negative is the same as plus and positive. Minus a negative is the same as plus a positive. If you don't do that, if you don't take a second and rewrite it, the rest of your work is probably going to be wrong. Okay, so 20 plus 15, that's pretty straightforward, right? We start with $20, then we get 15 more, right? We're rich, yay! Now we have $35. Okay, as you can see, both numbers are positive, right? So we sum them. We know that the answer is also positive since both numbers that we added together were positive. Okay, then we have negative 23 plus 14. So this is like I owe $23 and I get 14. As you can see, that $14 is not going to be enough to repay my debt. In fact, I'm still going to owe $9. And the last way to understand this is that they have different signs, right? So we could just do 23 minus 14. Type it in your calculator or just do it in your head. It's 9. So then you just have to figure out, okay, fine. Well, is that 9 going to be a positive 9 or a negative 9? And to do that, we look at the dominant term. 23 is bigger than 14. So if I look at that 23, I can see that it's negative. Since the dominant term is negative, my final answer must also be negative.